The objective of this lesson is to use an understanding of the statistical process to determine if a question is statistical or not. Statistics is the process of collecting and analyzing data to answer questions and find trends. Statistics is about numbers in context of a situation. Being curious and developing a statistical question is the first of a four-step process to using statistics. The 4 steps in the statistical process are 1. Formulate questions, 2. Collect data, 3. Analyze data, and 4. Interpret results. Let's look at the following example of using the statistical process. Luca wants to answer the question, how many pets do the students in our class have? He takes a survey of his class to find out how many pets each classmate has, then organizes the data onto a line plot. Luca discovered that most people in his class had either 1 or 2 pets. How is each step of the statistical process represented in this example? The first step is to formulate a question. Luca wants an answer to the question, how many pets do the students in our class have? The second step is to collect data. Luca does this by taking a survey of his class. The third step is to analyze data. Luca organizes the data he collects onto a line plot. And finally, the fourth step is to interpret results. Luca examines his dot plot and discovers that most people in his class had either 1 or 2 pets. While each step of the process is important, this lesson will focus on identifying statistical questions. A question is statistical when it can be answered using the statistical process. Statistical questions are those that can be answered by collecting and analyzing data. Statistical questions anticipate variability in the data collected. Let's look at the following list of questions and determine if the statistical process would be needed to answer each question. If the statistical process is needed and variability could be expected in the data, then it is a statistical question. What color is the sky? This question is not statistical because no data would be needed to be collected or analyzed. The answer can be found by just looking for one piece of information. There is no variability in the data. What is the class's favorite color? This is a statistical question because data could be collected to determine the favorite colors in the class. Then the data could be analyzed using a graph for the results to be interpreted. How many words per minute can the students in our class type? This is a statistical question because data could be collected to determine the words per minute each student can type, and then analyzed and interpreted in a graph. Can apes run faster than humans? This is a statistical question because data could be collected to find the speed of apes and humans. The data could be analyzed in graphs to determine the answer. There is variability in the data. What is the difference in snowfall between Denver and Salt Lake City in 2015? This question is not statistical because the difference between the totals for each city could be calculated. There is no variability to report. Do lions grow taller than tigers? This is a statistical question because the adult heights of both animals could be gathered. Then the data could be analyzed and interpreted in graphs. There is variability. How many pages are in your book? This question is not statistical because there is no variability in the data. How could we rewrite this question to make it statistical? We need to change the question to have variability in the answers. How many pages are in the books being read by my classmates? This question is now a statistical question because data could be collected about the different lengths of books and then analyzed and interpreted in graphs. The objective for this lesson was to use an understanding of the statistical process to determine if a question is statistical or not. We met this objective by learning the statistical process and then determining if a question would provide data with variability that could be graphed and analyzed.